Yeah, we hold these truths to be self-evident. It's time for the True Sports Card Show. I'm Whitey Gleason. Hoping your fourth went better for you than it did for the Giants in West Sacramento last night. And now here he is, the star of our show. He's the owner and proprietor of True Sports Cards in Rockland. If he were a firework, he'd be a Piccolo Pete, no question about it. Timon Pilati.
Piccolo Pilati Pete.
Yeah.
Those were my favorite ones. They were not safe. They were not sane. But yeah, we would do the Piccolo Petes. They were really high pitched.
Very.
And every once in a while, as a guy that lived in Stockton, we were not having safe and sane. We couldn't even get fireworks in our county, so we'd have to drive to Galt.
Right.
To go get them. And I remember getting those big tubes, and they would knock over, and then they'd shoot at us, and we'd laugh. And nowadays, as a parent, I'm like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
This is dangerous.
Well, growing up on Ray Court in Vallejo, the Smith brothers across the street were the ones who told all the kids, if you take a pair of pliers and you get a Piccolo Pete and you just kind of crimp it and bend it a little bit, then you light it, it'll go.
Explodes.
Yeah. I don't know how that worked, the physics of it, but they were right.
Do they still sell Piccolo Petes?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
that was a Red Devil item, if I'm not mistaken.
Ah,
I don't know.
yes, your brand. Red Devil, we're looking for sponsorships if you have any interest in doing it.
Freedom Fireworks had the whistling Pete. It's like, where's my Piccolo Pete?
Yeah, whistling Pete. Pete flute fireworks. It's awful. Well, how'd you do on your fourth? What'd you do last night?
Last night, the missus wasn't feeling tip-top, so we stayed in. We watched a movie that we all, the two of us, really, really enjoyed. I saw the grandson yesterday and the family a little bit, so I had a good time. How about you?
Beckett was trying to sleep, and apparently, we had all of Roseville's fireworks show happening on our block last night, so that was a little tough. I'm actually surprised. I'm going to go back to you for a second that you were awake when it was dark.
Yeah, I'm full of surprises.
Like, I'm up still? No, it was a good time. We were open yesterday at the shop. We had a few people come and visit. They wanted some late night box rips for later that night, so they bought some wax to open. And then we had a little pool get together, so I was able to jump in the pool with my wife, kid, and some of our friends, and I ate too much burger, too much hot dog.
No such thing on the 4th of July.
I was no Joey Chestnut, but I came in second. I ate a lot yesterday.
I'll tell you what, few things are more American than opening up some baseball cards on the 4th of July weekend. Yeah, we had the 4th of July yesterday, but we celebrate all week.
Isn't that kind of one of the things that they talk about? It's like baseball, American Pie, baseball card, apple pie.
Yeah.
What did I say?
American Pie. Bye, bye, Miss American Pie.
Never heard that song before. Is that the one about the Chevy at the levee?
That's the one.
Never heard it.
Okay.
Over here, David B in the YouTube chateau said that he's been watching the Mariners, and you just mentioned something about Cal Raleigh before we got on air.
Yes, I went through
the big dumper.
Some of my old cards, because that's why you save all the rookie cards and everything. You never know.
You never know, especially Bowman.
Yeah,
you're getting them cards when they're 17 years old, and when they hit the majors at 23, you're like, I think I had this guy.
Yeah, so I found some of his rookie cards in my stuff. Nothing really worth that much, but reminds me, there was a gentleman in your store. This was probably a month ago.
Did you call him Crib Keeper?
No. He was a very nice gentleman, as was the mummy that I talked to. That you're referring
that's
to.
called a callback from about 19 shows ago when you called one of my customers an old man.
The guy that was interested, a very nice guy, and I think he was there with his son, and he was going through. I always go through the Padre drawer, and he was going through the Mariner boxes, and he said, "Yeah, I'm looking for Cal Raleigh." This was a few weeks ago, so he probably got some good stuff.
I think Cal was like probably in the high 20s at that time, hitting home runs. He's got 35 now.
Yeah.
I think Barry holds the record pre-All-Star break, which is 39.
Oof.
So he's getting there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Point being, though, when he first came out, I was like, who's this guy? So there probably were. I think he did find some nice Cal Raleigh stuff that you and your fine staff put in the...
Now I'm going to have to look him up. Cal Raleigh rookie. Yes, so we're going to talk Kings, but we also want to talk a little bit about the A's and Giants, because that's always a nice...
Giants fans don't want to talk about that, and you're a Giants fan.
I'm a Giants fan, but I'm okay talking about it because, again, it's like 1A, and then the A's are like 1C.
You're not a split cap guy, are you?
No.
Okay.
The 89 World Series Bay Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of corny, but they sold a lot of merch.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the split cap. Take
Cal-
a stand. Choose a side.
Cal Raleigh RC. Let's see here. Looks like I was out of 2022.
Yeah, I sold this week a 2022 Topps Chrome pink refractor of his for not that much, but I sold it.
Well, it's not that much.
Around 8, I think, and I think it's going for more than that, especially the ones that are graded. I was looking for like 15. Someone came in at like 7. I said, I'll sue for 8. So anyway,
Look at you with the negotiation skills.
right.
Looks like here, unlicensed product, 2022 Select RPA Rookie Patch Auto of Cal Raleigh sold today for $135.
Wow.
It's not even numbered.
Hmm.
Break out your Cal Raleigh,
Yeah,
the big dumper.
that's what I did yesterday. I found about 3 of them. Nothing special though.
Let's talk Giants and A's.
Yeah.
A's whooped on the Giants last night.
11-2.
11-2. Our boy Soderstrom had a hit, but Nick Kurtz yet again with
13 homers
another
now for him. Pardon me. Yeah.
with another home run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't say the A's are playing well. I would tell you that the Giants are struggling to score. And poor Verlander, what's going on with this guy?
he's
getting rocked.
He's lost a little bit on his fastball. His fastball now, I was reading yesterday, is actually below major league average. Justin Verlander. So,
Well-
that was like everything was set up off of that. He's also had some bad luck.
It's interesting because he pitches mad. Sometimes now you could see it. He had 4 doubles hit against him in the same inning. It's been a long time since that happened. But we got to remember the guy's rookie card was 2007.
Yeah.
So the guy's quote unquote old for
He
the
is.
sport.
Yeah.
But he's throwing a lot of breaking balls, a lot of 12 to 6s. I'm watching it. And what that means for those of you that don't know what that means, it starts high and it drops quickly. And the teams are rocking him right now.
he was up
He's
in
0 for 6 right now.
0-6. Yeah.
0
As Rich Aurelia was saying last night, everything up in the zone. So yeah, Kurtz homered and Clark hit his 3rd homer, made another nice catch. So it was all athletics in West Sacramento last night.
Peg Junk out there trying to throw out a nice little funny thing. Verlander needs to be a Vergoner. Yeah, it's not
You wouldn't
good.
say that to Kate Upton, would you?
No, she is one gorgeous woman. Hi, honey. Nice to hear you. Let's talk some Kings.
Sacramento Kings. What's going on, Amron?
Well,
What's your gut tell you?
You took a couple of days off. You and the whole team
The
here.
whole station, yeah.
Yeah, so you guys
We were
had what?
trying to get in. No, holiday, go home.
And you're like banging on the door.
Yeah.
Please let me work. Please let me work. Yeah, so you guys had Thursday and Friday off, correct?
Yeah.
So leading up to it, Drive Guys, what did you and Kyle talk about during the week with the excitement of week 2 now of having Nick Clifford and Maxime Rallon?
We're still, as a fan base, on that roller coaster. The Kings fans were, they're not going to trade into the first round. Then they traded in the first round, got Nick Clifford. Great. And they got Maxime Reynaud. Oh, this is great. Then they signed in a Schroeder. Oh, a lot of fans disappointed in that. And then Laravia leaves. Oh, what are they doing? What are they doing? So I don't know where we are now, but there's a lot of people wondering what's going to happen with Jonathan Kuminga, whom the Kings seem to have a lot of interest in. I think it'd be fascinating if they get him, but if they ask me, which they won't, I would say
Not for you.
no.
All right, so a couple things. Let's clean this up. Nick Clifford did sign a 4-year, $16 million
Clean it
contract.
up. What, did I really make that big of a
No,
mess
it's-
out of it?
Look, how do you mute him? 4 years,
Yeah.
$16 million.
Uh-huh.
As all rookie contracts are slotted based on where they were picked. So, with that said, 3 years guaranteed. The last one is a team option. Always that team option allows them to be able to re-sign them in a long term. Looks like Reynaud signed a 3-year, $6 million contract. So both guys are signed. I will say that as a guy that's on social media quite often myself, the Kings social media team has done a pretty good job of introducing us to these two. I don't see too much of Nick talking, although he's probably not reluctant to it. But
He's got the Clifford necklace.
is that what it is?
Seriously, yes. I'm not making
Like the
that up.
chain,
Yes,
like the
like-
big jewelry chain.
Yeah, for Clifford the dog. So
Oh,
yes.
the
I
big
kid you
red.
not.
Really?
Yeah, yes.
How funny.
Yeah.
But Maxim, he says my guys call me Mad Max. Okay, self-imposed nickname, but
hmm
that'll stick
Yeah.
unless Jerry Reynolds comes up with something better, which he will.
Certainly possible.
Yes, very possible.
Likely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so Maxime looks like awesome. They showed him doing some jumpers. Again, the highlight reel. But like, I like him. He's got a nice personality. Seems like a good dude. Looks like he's ready to go. And as you talked about last week's show, his coach at Stanford told you guys.
It was a morning. He was on the morning show.
Oh, morning show. Sorry.
Yes.
And you recapped it.
Yeah.
Which then means that you were the ones that really brought the story. No, Dave?
Sure.
You repeated what was said. So it's all you, Whitey. I heard you say it. That his coach was like, I had him back off playing defense because the guy can play some defense, but with 5 fouls in college, we're trying to keep him on the floor because of his offensive prowess.
That had to be the primary reason he fell as far as he did was defensively because, he lasted to the second round.
Yeah.
I mean, Hanson Yang went before him.
Hanson?
Yeah, but I think it's like Hanson Yang. Yeah, he
there
went
was
to Portland like 16.
Yeah, 16.
Yeah.
What's funny is they showed a snippet of them interviewing Hanson Yang.
Yeah.
He's like, he's working through his English. It's actually pretty good. He's like, what do you like to do? He goes, I like to sleep. I like to play PS5. I like to eat. I was like, this guy is me.
Yes, this guy's every player in the NBA that age. Yeah, absolutely.
Anthony, you're back from vacation. Welcome back from Portugal. You said something about talking to a few people about Maxime Renaud. What did you hear?
So I know some people who work for Stanford for their broadcasting. So they are cameramen for Stanford men's basketball, and they've obviously watched him throughout his college career. And they're not even Kings fans. And on draft night, they were posting about how happy they were for him and how the Kings got a steal. And I trust them off of all that because they used to dog on me for being a Kings fan. So I'm very excited to see what he can do.
You know what's interesting? As I've perused the pundits throughout the internet, I keep seeing the Kings draft as an A. I saw a couple A pluses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pundits have not been grading the Schroeder deal as favorably, nor the Valanciunas trade. By the way, I want to apologize because he goes I said Hanson Yang. He goes by Yang Hansen, so I apologize.
Yang Hansen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Ming Yao.
Yeah.
That it's a reverse.
Well, that's just what he goes by, Yang Hansen. So I said
Yang
Hansen. Anyway, so Valanciunas traded to Denver and might not play for Denver. Might
last for the buyout.
Yeah.
That's an interesting factor. The fact that he probably thinks, how much am I really going to play with Jokic in front of me? Because you can't really play the two of them together. The
Not
Twin
much,
Towers.
But, I mean, that would be, and they're still going to be a really good team.
They had a great offseason. Yeah, I guess it was just to free up that cap space. And the trade was for Dario Saric. Does it look like the Kings are going to keep Saric? Not that that's a huge factor, but
he's been discussed in the Kuminga talks. He was a really good player, Saric, until he tore up his knee. Had those weird finals in August, a couple years after the pandemic. He was a really good player. I don't know where he is now. He hasn't played as much lately. If he's anything close to what he used to be, he could really help them.
I remember when he played for the Suns, top of the key 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Nails. The guy was, 40% or something from there.
Stretch big.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When you have that guy. But I don't think he's athletic enough to be able to overcome knee injuries the way he has. It was a space clearing scenario. So that way, I believe the Kings saved $5 million on that trade.
Right. Which allowed them to do the
Schroeder without trading.
Deal the way they wanted to bring him in.
Okay. So
He's German, sorry.
The talk of the town is Kuminga. Let's talk about Kuminga. 22 years old, 6'9", 6'10".
Not quite 6'10", more 6'8". I think 6'8".
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think what my nervousness and everything I read about him, because my eye test watching him as a guy that watches Warriors games, I'm like, this guy's incredible. He's really good. Is the word on the street about him just wanting to be the man?
Right.
It
seems like maybe, Emran, to your point, he would rather be a guy scoring a ton of points on a team that's like, than be a lesser guy on a winning team. And bless
that's
him,
always
good
scary.
for him. Right. Good for him. I hope he finds happiness as a guy who came from virtually nothing in Africa. But that's not the type of guy you want to hit your wagon to when you're trying to build a culture and all that.
I looked at his assist numbers. He was averaging about 3 assists a game. So he did pass. But, he wasn't like a black hole or anything. But I would just say that Kuminga if he goes to the Kings, does his cards go up? I don't know, because he's going to still be.
They do if he averages anything close to like 30 a game
What
or something.
What I'm not rooting for is to be having Monk be part of this deal. I don't see why the Warriors would do it with Monk other than salary reasons, but it's redundant, right? You have Monk, you have Buddy Hield. Excuse me. You'd have Monk, you'd have Buddy Hield, you'd have Curry, you'd have Moody, you'd have Pajemski. Like they don't need another. They need a forward to replace the forward.
Yeah. On the other show that I do, this is the main show, but then I
Right.
do Drive Guys too.
Yeah, I've heard you
It's
guys
kind of a
do
side
that.
job. We had Monty Poole on Wednesday. Monty Poole's been covering the Warriors forever in the Bay Area. He says Monk's a nice player, but he says they need length. He just isn't really what they need. So I don't know. There was a report from Anthony Slater that the Kings came in with an offer of Devin Carter and Šarić and 2 second-rounders, and the Warriors were insulted by that offer.
They're like, nah, we won't.
They
It's a lot-
balked at that
It's a
offer.
lot like when somebody comes in and they see like a Patrick Mahomes rookie card in my case for 500. They go, I'm kind of around 260.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You balk at that?
that's the thing that we should talk about on a show, whether it's this one or a future one, where we talk about. Some people go, well, it doesn't hurt to ask. I will tell you, it hurts to ask, because when you piss me off, like when you come at me at a 500 comp card at 260,
I found that in other things too.
we're,
Like when,
we're probably not going to have a conversation moving forward.
Yeah. When you're, negotiating with a station about this or that, doesn't hurt to ask. No, sometimes
It does hurt to ask.
It can hurt. Yeah.
Take it as a real estate guy for 25 years myself. It comes down to it. It's true. Like a guy will write an offer on one of my listings. And of course, listings are like cards, house listings. You look at the comps, you look at Zillow or wherever you go, and you say, the houses in this market go for 500,000. I'll be around there, and then come in with a, how about, kind of around 300.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're never going to speak to each other again. I'm going to block you on Instagram at this point, which I've done, for people. So it does hurt to swing sometimes.
David B has a card question for you, Edmund. When should we expect to get their rookie cards on the market?
I will not see anything, in my opinion, until, the licensing for Topps / Fanatics goes to the NBA licensing goes to Topps in October, and they've announced that they will be coming out with product on the second part of the month of October. So we have our card show on September 26th to 28th, which we'll talk a little bit about. But Topps licensed product, which we're excited about, is going to start coming out in the middle of October. So that's when I expect to see that stuff. Although Panini may release like draft picks, which means that
Right.
they're still in their college uniforms,
Okay, yeah.
and they don't identify them with their team that they've been picked by. But that might come out in September or maybe late August.
The last few years since I've gotten back into collecting cards, the first cards with NBA rookies in their uniforms was NBA Hoops.
Right.
Do we even know if we're going to have NBA Hoops now? Because that was
That's a Panini product,
Yeah.
right? It's all kind of up in the air.
Okay.
If Fanatics plays nice, which I don't know if they will, okay, it would be such a smart move to just transition for a year and say, we'll give you some licensing for it. If you think about this, it's not like they haven't collaborated before. How many times have you seen Panini products sold on Fanatics website? It happens, right? It does.
Mm-hmm.
So they have worked together in the past. I think that it'd be wonderful if there was a bridge just finally coming over and saying, we're going to have all products, all licensed for 1 year, and then have Panini exit gracefully out the side. Or maybe Panini says, we'll sell our NBA side of our product, but we're going to keep our soccer, we're going to keep our this, we're going to keep our that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just an interesting time right now with all that licensing going
Yeah,
on.
so that's a great question. It's just not quite knowable. I will say this about Topps basketball. Got some Topps Chrome basketball from True Sports Cards. Opened them within the last week or so. Really fun product still. It's just like they have some odd inserts. They have a lot of refractors, but like there's a Wemby, San Antonio, nothing about the Spurs. I got Wemby and I think Kyrie Irving, an insert called Ball of Duty, which to me sounds more like a porn film than a basketball.
I would
card
agree
insert.
with that.
But it's like, okay, but they're still fun. It's just like you get them, and for me anyway, this is nice, this is fun, but really looking forward to the licensing.
How's duty spelled? D-O-T-I-E?
D-U-T-Y. Yeah.
I was going to say this morning was a bad one for Beckett. I don't know what Jessica fed him before I got to the party, but I changed the diaper this morning, I almost had to go to church today. It was bad.
Wow.
I was like, "Jeez, what is in this thing?" Sorry, we're a sports card show talking about
Anthony's
diapers.
like, why did I come back for this?
Well, we're still
I'll go
clean.
back to Portugal.
We're still cleaner than the lead-in show.
Gotcha.
All right, so yeah, we've got the Topps product coming out. We also just recently had a new product come out, 2025 Score Football. That came out. I originally thought it was going to come out at 195-ish.
And also, speaking of when it came out, it's supposed to come out a while ago. It's been pushed back.
It was pushed a week. It was pushed about a week. And so we released it on Thursday, so right before the holiday.
I mentioned that Hoops traditionally is the first basketball product. This is the first
Score.
football.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of paper. I think it's one of those that the base comes out because they have the training camp photos of players, particularly the rookies. There's about 50 rookies in the product, but there's some unique stuff that's coming out of this score. And let me just kind of highlight a couple things.
What if I want a Shador rookie auto?
You'll find it. Well, let me see. Yeah, I did some research yesterday. Both Shador and Travis Hunter autographs are in this product. If you recall from a previous show from a long time ago, we talked about how Shador and Travis signed exclusive agreements with Panini for 1 year to sign autographs. So kind of lines up
Yeah.
because Topps is taking over the product in 2026. They're taking over the licensing.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe they didn't give a definitive time, but they said early 2026. My guess is it's the day after the Super Bowl ends, ending the contract with Panini. Again, this is speculation on my part, but that's what I really believe. I think you're going to see licensed Topps products for NFL in March-ish 2026. So they might be releasing some stuff by then. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited to see Shador autographs. Even he's the most in-demand fifth rounder preseason you've ever seen. And then you have Travis Hunter. And then one other thing, this is the first time Mahomes has included autographs in a product in years. So he signed an agreement with Panini to sign autographs. His autographs are in this product as well. So that's going to be fun to see Mahomes and his autographs. We're looking at about $215 a box plus tax. We have it on our shelf there at True Sports Cards. Come on in.
I know this is kind of outdated notion. It would be great if once Fanatics gets all the licensing, if they could kind of coordinate things and synchronize the release of products to the seasons more. That's the way it used to be. And I know there's business reasons why you want to spread it out and keep having different product. But baseball cards now, they come out during the baseball season. It's great.
There's no, I guess what I would say is that they have not really recovered from the pandemic's delays. But why is that an advantage to collectors? There is an advantage to this.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, the Score product is out before we have the players actually playing games. We don't even know who the Brown starter is. We don't even know if Kenny Pickett, who's the projected starter, will be on the team by then.
I'm going with Joe Flacco.
You think Flacco?
Always. Every year.
Okay, well, let's see. We've got Kenny Pickett, who's a young guy that was a first-round draft pick. We've got Shador Sanders that we picked in the 5th. We've got Dylan Gabriel, who was picked in the 3rd. And we still have Sean Watson. Nah, let's go with a 40-something-year-old. Nah. That means that, if Flacco starts, that's a bad sign for the other two as in investments.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's get back to this. What I'm saying is when you have product that releases late into the season or even after the season, I mean, we're still seeing product that has Wemby as a rookie in it.
Yeah.
That's wild. 2 full years and 1 injury out. But what that does to the advantage of the card collector or investor is that it gives you a chance to go, nah, better not invest in that guy. Or yeah, we should pick up CJ Stroud. So when you're getting a product late into the year, you have a resume or you have some runway of seeing the player of whether or not they started, whether or not they're good, whether or not they're on an upward trajectory, and you're not sitting there guessing at the beginning. That's part of the fun, but it gives you a little bit more of a solidification of whether or not you should invest in that person or not. I like it.
Yeah. Okay. I understand that.
But
it's kind of neat. It was like it's basketball season. Look, there's basketball cards.
But the reason why it doesn't happen so much in baseball is because Bowman product comes out so early for these guys. They come out so early for these guys. I'm such a rookie at this. I'm hitting buttons, making sounds come out. Sorry about that.
No.
You didn't hear it.
I heard something.
It's just me,
Yeah.
rookie. I'll get used to this. I'm only almost 2 years into this. When you have a Jacob Wilson, as an example, Jacob Wilson Bowman Chrome card came out a year prior, 2 years prior. So you already have what's his first Bowman years prior to him actually being successful. So people can go back and say, I have this card because I invested early. So it's a lot of fun. But with football,
Yeah.
you really don't have it.
And then being fair, baseball season starts, it's February is spring training, and it goes till October. So baseball season lasts most of the year. But I just think it's cool that here we are in July. We just had Series 2 coming out for Topps, and Topps Chrome Baseballs coming out. I like that, like right in the peak of the season.
Yeah, we've got a couple that lead into this. So Topps Chrome Baseball, which you've been bugging me about for a while now, which is,
Yes.
yeah, you're all, when does it come out? When does it come out? Like,
Do you have any left? It hasn't come out yet.
I'm like,
Okay.
I'm like, why are you texting me at 3:30 in the morning about this?
Because I just got up.
Don't you have everything else to do?
You go to bed at 5:30. When am I supposed to get up?
I get 10 hours of sleep. I'm up and, so in between that product score and then Topps Chrome Baseball, we have 2024-25 Panini Mosaic Basketball. So again, a weaker rookie class, but another staple product, chromium product. It looks like, and again, we don't know officially until a couple days of what it releases for price points. Just as a heads up, before I say what the number is, for those of you that wonder why is it that Emeren doesn't release price points earlier than a couple days before, because I have to look at the rebuy. But what's a
You got to do some math on it.
right? So what ends up happening is initial
I mean,
allocation.
you're not in this just for the benefit and welfare of us card collectors?
I am,
Oh, okay.
but I can't do it very long when I'm broke.
Right.
So, what I was going to say is that like the rebuy on the secondary purchase is where we measure. So, a little behind the curtain for all of our listeners, when the initial allocation comes out for us, let's say it's a case, I buy it at X amount per box. Let's use the number $100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if I put it out there for $150 for resale, before I can do that, I have to look at what's the second wave going to cost me. Let's say the second wave cost me $140, and I know that this is a product that's going to sell. I can't really put it out at $150 because the margin is too tiny between the first wave and the second wave, because I know I'm going to sell through the first wave pretty much no problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's the second wave and making sure it stays on the shelf to where it's like, okay, wait a minute. Now, in some cases, the second wave is more than what I had it on the shelf in the first wave. So it's like, wait a minute. I'm selling it for $150, but to put it back on the shelf, it's going to be $165. Okay, we got to do this math a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I buy first and second wave together. So if one is 100 and one is 150, I'll buy them together so the wave is 130, and then that way I can keep it at 165 because I blended the rates together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if it's even available to me. So little curtain pulling, pulling back the curtain, sharing with you guys how it works.
Question on
But-
Mosaic.
Sure.
Mosaic.
Mosaic 600 a box is what it looks like.
I like Mosaic. I think they're really pretty cards, but they are not considered an upper tier card, are they? There's like Chrome, there's Prism, there's Select, Donruss Optic, and then Mosaic is considered a little lower.
Yeah, so if you
tier?
think, let's go from
I'm
the
not clear why, but I know it is.
from the bottom. You're looking at hoops, earliest product,
Donruss
paper,
paper.
yeah, paper, stuff like that. Donruss is a little bit more
Contenders
in
in there.
demand because you have stuff like some of the SSPs, the super short prints. But for the chromium product, I would say that Mosaic is on the lower end of the chromium, so you'd probably see that at low to mid. It's somewhere around there,
Mm-hmm.
low to mid. And what's weird is that it has the same proprietary stuff in the chromium as Prism, but looked at as its stepbrother, looking at it as something that's lower than what Prism would be, even though a lot of the features are the same of the product. I think what waters down Mosaic is a lot of the Prism-ness of it. So you have like unnumbered Prism, reactive yellows, or pinks.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting there going, I have all these different parallels, but they're not really worth that much. In the old Beckett magazines, there used to have parallels, and they'd say, if the card is $1, This parallel is 1.25 times the value. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I wish we had that now. It's like
Yeah. Yes.
pink camo's the same as regular, and the sideways one's the same as
Yeah.
horizontal. It's like
I got hundreds of mosaics sleeved because they're,
A different color.
Different, yeah. And it's like, this Bradley Beal is really not worth anything.
it might be less than the regular one.
Yeah.
Right. So, again, for those of you that are buying Chromium products, try your best to buy hobby products as best as you can, whether it's packs, whether it's boxes, whatever you could do, because that's going to have more of a limited edition that holds more value than if you're out there buying stuff on the retail shelves. We carry the retail stuff because we want to make sure it's affordable for everybody.
Some
Can
people
walk
just
in.
like to rip stuff. Yeah.
Yes, but if you're looking for value, just get numbered parallels because it gives you a definitive number, whether it's 99, 49, 25. It doesn't matter. It's going to hold a lot more value than these unnumbered pinks, reds, and blues.
Mm-hmm.
So Panini Mosaic Hobby Box, that's going to be coming out. Looks like it's going to be releasing in a couple weeks. But then the product
that's all dictated popular. Pardon me, but you made the point already. How valuable and popular those are. It's going to hinge largely on the rookie class, and it's just not a really impressive rookie class from that regard.
I think when it's all said and done, and we look a couple years from now, it's going to be similar to the Paolo Banchero year, or maybe Scotty Barnes year. Scotty Barnes year had Evan Mobley, who isn't like a
Cade
year. Yeah. No hobby darlings. And then you look back, you're like, actually, Cade's pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, Evan Mobley is a defensive player of the year. He's pretty good. Scotty Barnes, pretty good. You're gonna see that kind of thing.
When those came out, I remember
That's Chet Holmgren here too.
Yeah, I got a Scotty Barnes Silver Prism rookie card. And at the time I was going for, I think people were asking for, I don't know, 70 or 80 bucks. I was like, oh, I'm hanging on to this. I just checked this week and it's going for like $8.
$8?
Yeah. Yeah. So, and he's a fine player, but it's just not that. People just don't want his rookie card.
So you also remember that's Keegan's rookie year.
Yeah.
So we have Keegan Murray as well in that product. So just Jaden Ivey, there's a lot of guys in there that you're like, okay, season for a couple of years. There's some good players in this draft. Good players in this draft. And so we may find that 24-25, Risache.
Yeah. See, I understand.
These guys might turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sar.
I understand your point. I think
Reed Shepherd.
The class that we're talking about is going to have a hard time being as good as the, Paolo and those guys, but we'll see. I understand your point.
I mean, if you remember the talk of that draft, the Paolo draft was actually Jabari Parker. So Jabari
Smith Jr.
Jabari Smith Jr. And he dropped a third for the Rockets. He just signed that extension, a big one.
Yeah.
So we thought that he might be shipped out of town.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Phoenix, what are you doing? You guys don't know how to trade. Even the Kings trade better than that.
Yeah, they've made some pretty
spare
moves.
parts for Durant. What are you doing? Anyways, so I just think that this 24-25 product is going to see some uplift probably in a couple years.
Yeah,
give him a
when
chance.
Cooper Flagg's rookie cards start coming out.
It's going to be on fire. Yeah, because they're likely playoff bound.
Like a Piccolo Pete.
Isn't this the highest winning percentage team to ever have a number one pick? Something like that.
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought of that.
They were sub 500, but they were still in playing. I mean, they beat the Kings, right? They beat the Kings to get into the second part of the play-in.
No, well, they made the playoffs. Yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
Boy, I need to do my research before we get on. If I only had a computer in front of me. Oh wait, I do. Topps Chrome 2025 is releasing on July 23rd. Whitey set his alarm.
Yeah.
He set his alarm
They lost the second play to the Grizzlies, didn't they?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Don't ever challenge my brain. Make me look bad on my own show. 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball. July 23rd.
Here we go.
July 23rd.
People have been bugging me about this one.
Yeah, and you've been transferring the bugging to me about it. You love baseball. You love Chrome.
Uh-huh.
What more can you ask for? Topps Chrome 2025 Topps Chrome Baseball. For those of you that have been opening Topps products, the flagship, I actually kind of like the design. It's kind of unique and different. It's very different than previous years. They go with a sideways, identification of the team. and swirls into your name. Pretty good product. James Wood rookie card in that product. Dylan Cruz has a rookie card in the product. However, he hasn't played that well. But you do see some of the great cards in there. Red refractors of number to 5 are going to be in there. Super fractors as usual. Great product. Why Whitey Gleason is Topps Chrome your product of the year for baseball?
It's just the flagship baseball brilliant product, like the original sports card in a chrome format. There's a lot of refractors, and especially when you get a hobby box, you got a shot at some really nice cards. They just look great. To me, it's just the best. And I know there's some really high-end stuff, but without spending a ton of money, like more than someone like me can spend, it's the best baseball card you can buy.
Oh, I know what you make here. You can afford plenty.
Okay.
You can afford plenty of it. We will be taking pre-orders on this.
Emran, pardon me, Emran, but
yes,
from the
interrupt
279,
me.
Emran, is your shop doing anything for Topps Chrome Baseball? That's a question we just got there
So
a minute ago.
wow, I didn't even look at the chateau, and here I am
Yeah.
answering the question. It's like I was preparing to answer that question. First of all, we don't have as many cases as I would like as far as pre-ordering the product. Here's what it looks like.
That means I ain't getting any.
You're going to get one retail pack. If you look at the product right now, it's projected to be right around $300 for the Chrome Hobby
Wow.
Baseball. Typical Chrome Hobby Baseball, one autograph per box.
A guy like Anthony will want the jumbo. What's that going to set him back?
I don't know yet. We're barely getting the hobby numbers in. Again, don't quote me 3 weeks before it comes out, 2 weeks before it comes out. I don't know. But probably I'm going to be in Vegas this week coming up. I'll explain that in a minute. But when I come back from Vegas on the 14th, that'll be exactly 9 days before we release, have the release of Topps Chrome. I will have a projected pre-order price. It'll be a few bucks cheaper than if you just waited the day of. So you can buy ahead of time, reserve your box. We'll probably limit it to one box per customer. And then it'll be slightly cheaper. Or I may play a little fun game with it. Sometimes I don't go cheaper, but I'll say I will grade a card through PSA for free if you buy the box and open the box in store.
Ooh,
That's always fun.
That is kind of, when you said fun, I thought this isn't going to be fun.
Is that
But it is.
That's-
It is, yeah.
the only reason you say this because I told you being on the show would be fun.
Sometimes.
And since then you've been
Yeah. We have some really good questions here.
Let's
I know
hear
you
it.
have
Let's
stuff
go.
to get to. Okay. From the 279 again. Do they have hobby blasters in Mosaic if you can't afford $600 for a box?
Okay. So that is a contradictory statement. Okay. It's like a jumbo shrimp. There's no such thing as hobby and blasters. It's
Well,
retail blasters
yeah.
or hobby boxes.
Fanatics, for some cards, they have something that roughly called like for NBA Prism, I think they had hobby blasters, and what that meant was it included like a rare, a green refractor that you could only get in that format. So I have heard that term used.
So they're called
hobby blaster.
It's weird.
Yeah, but it's really
The question is being asked correctly.
Yeah.
I'm reformatting it so that way our brains are thinking about what does it really mean. If you're at Target, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, wherever else that you might find Whitey looking for cards,
Yes.
Ace Hardware,
Yes.
no joke.
I know.
I go, where'd you get this? When they come in to sell it to me, they're like, I got these. I go, where you get them? Ace Hardware. I was
There's
like,
an Ace near my house. I go there a lot. I can't find the cards, and I'm embarrassed to ask them if they have it. So
excuse
I'm
me.
looking.
Yes, is there a hammer or something I can help you find? No, do you have any Panini Mosaic retail?
Really, I'm too embarrassed. But every time I go in there, I'm looking. I can't find it.
I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for nails and Donruss basketball. What? Okay, going back. So I think that Panini is going to be releasing products similar to the way they always have, which is like hanger boxes, which are the smallest amount that you can buy, or cello packs. And then they'll have mega boxes or blaster boxes. All those you could find in retail, even if they call them hobby. Sometimes the items that you're talking about are called retail exclusives. So like Target might have a version of it with pink parallels.
Yes.
And then Walmart has them with green parallels. It's a little way to say we're different. It's kind of like
Yes.
Vanilla Ice when he did Ice Ice Baby and said, I didn't take David Bowie's song. It's a little bit of a tinge of it. You like how I did that?
Very much.
As a former radio DJ, I'm sure you'd appreciate
that's
that.
a 8.7.
So
Out of 20.
There will be blasters of Mosaic when it releases. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it'll be right around there. Mosaic's
Mhm.
coming out in a week or two, so that should be exciting. I don't know how excited I am about $600 a box on release. Keep this in mind. Prism came out. Okay, Prism came out, and it dropped almost $150 from its initial release price in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are not clamoring for Mosaic, you might be better off just waiting a week or two.
I got to get that Reed Shepherd Prism.
He's on the boxes of hoops like, wow, Reed Shepherd?
There you go. That tells you a lot. Nothing against him, but
And guess who was on the other box of Don Russ on the cover?
McLean.
Donovan, what's his name? Donovan
Klingon.
Klingon.
Oh, okay.
Woo!
No Dalton Connect?
No, Dalton was on the Origins box, but Luca in his Lakers jersey was on the Select box.
Gotcha.
These cover athletes, it's questionable.
MS says Roseville Ace has a huge display by the cashiers. It's interesting.
Right now, everybody's scooping over to Roseville Ace, banging on the doors. We need our Mosaic. We need our Mosaic.
Yeah, I need a sump pump and give me some Panini Select Baseball, would you? Yeah.
I will tell you this. I'm not somebody that goes and buys off the shelf out of principle. I mean, I almost every day I'm wearing my uniform of my sports card shop.
I know you bought some Donruss football at like Costco.
How about this? I bought it and I opened one box to see it because we had to have information about the store.
Yeah.
But I don't go. You'll never see me Pokemon scalping, as they call it.
You're not waiting in line.
I'm not.
For the store
Nope.
to
I ain't
open the
waiting
day
in
that-
line. No, I have better things to do, and I would really love it if people can go out there and get a Pokemon ETB Elite Trainer box for your language for $60. Go for it, because I have to pay on secondary market. I would love for our customers to be able to get stuff in the wild. So here's one other thing I'll tell you as an investor, for those of you that are watching YouTube, and I'm looking right at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
There is more and more of the retail sports product on the shelf that's being left. They're not like they're being wiped out like the old days. So buy retail product smartly. Do it for enjoyment. I don't know if the ship has sailed, but I'll tell you that the demand for sports retail product has simmered, and it's more closer to, you'll find Don Russ on the shelf. You'll find Prism on the shelf.
It took Emran years to get that message through my thick skull, but I think he's finally managed. By the way, the sports numbers of graded cards, this is to the point you're making here. They're staggering, which maybe we'll look at here, if not this week, maybe next week. But the overall number for sports cards down a little bit over last year, but thanks to a surge in Pokemon submissions, the overall number of cards, sports and otherwise, that have been submitted for grading is up 25% from last year. But fueling the surge is Pokemon.
On your research there, Whitey, was it submissions to all brands or just PSA?
Let's see. That's a great question.
Because PSA is hovering between 1.7 and 1.9 million cards submitted monthly. It's an insane number.
This is all I have here is the major grading services.
Okay, so that's going to be Beckett.
Yeah,
it's going to be SGC. That's going to be CGC.
PSA, but yeah.
So a couple of things to talk about, and again, I'm relying off of my brain with.
We're in
stuff.
trouble. Hang on.
Yeah, cards are good. Not collecting cards is bad. Welcome to the True Sports Card Show.
See you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Back for more hard-hitting information. First of all, the rumor is, and I can't confirm it, but the rumor is 60% of last month's cards were TCG, Trading Card Games, aka Pokemon, of the submissions. That's insane. More than half now have focused on Pokemon, okay, over sports. And that's just an insane number. And to be truthful, I try to submit as many Pokemon cards as we can through our submissions when people come and submit with us. And I input. You have to input. Again, let me pull back the curtain. You have to input it by hand. You type in the card. It'll pop up some potential cards of it with a little picture of it. And I don't know what I'm doing with Pokemon. I kind of read it. I add in some numbers. I go, this looks like the card, but I press the button. I go close enough, and PSA will figure it out. I'm telling you, to have PSA people get cards and go, that's not the right card. I have to redo this. I have to do this. It probably slows down the process in the research and ID. So I would just say that with Pokemon having such a big influx of cards coming through, it's really slowed down the process.
May I give you some numbers here?
Let's hear it.
Yeah, this is they got this from GemRate, and when I say they, it's Sports Cards Collectors Digest. Over 5 million baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, other sports cards processed by the major grading services since January 1st. Sports cards, 5 million. If you count gaming and non-sports cards, the total goes up to 12.4 million. So you're looking at 7.4 million gaming and non-sports cards, Pokemon stuff, as compared to 5 million sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me give you some insight on grading. First of all, people ask, do we grade? We do. We, as in True Sports Cards, we do grade, but rarely. I grade a lot of our vintage. I send that to SGC, send some to PSA, depending on the price point. I rarely grade modern because I just don't want to wait to receive back my money. If I'm paying something, I'd like to get my money back plus a small profit that I was trying to get as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what we do. If you come to our shop at 6661 Stanford Ranch there in Rockland, we are very good about letting you check out the cards, taking them out of the sleeves, inspecting them yourself, and sending them in for grading. And I can't tell you how many times, Whitey, people pull cards out of our case ungraded, send it off to get graded with us, and they give them back a 10. And it happens. And people are like, you're dumb. Why didn't you grade that? Like, are you happy, customer? They're like, yeah. I was like, then stop complaining. What are you doing? Like, this is too good for me. What are you, dumb? No, enjoy. Couple of other things. I also tell people, grade with us. And why? Why grade with us?
Why grade with you?
Why grade with True Sports Cards for your PSA submissions? Because every week now we have hundreds, if not thousands of cards that we send off to PSA. And I've hired one of my employees down there to go ahead and I ship it overnight to him, and he walks it in every Wednesday to PSA. Why is that a big deal?
Why
Because
is that a big deal?
we avoid the mailroom,
Yeah.
which is where it just goes
Bad things can happen.
in the mailroom,
Yeah.
like the box never opening for a month.
Yeah.
I see it now where we walk in, I overnight it, so he has the box on Wednesdays. He walks it in to the PSA facility. It shows that the box has been opened and now starting the processing, usually a couple days after. I've had it before that when we send it directly to PSA and it goes to the mailroom. And as a guy that's physically seen the mailroom now, I'm like, it's sitting here for a month before you guys open it?
I am anxiously awaiting results of a card that I sent through Imran and True Sports Cards to get graded. 1998 Fleer Heritage Kobe card. Fleer Tradition is what it's. Fleer Tradition Kobe card. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that comes back as.
7. One other
I'll
thing.
take it.
One other thing I want to say,
yeah.
and it's very important that all of my customers and future customers hear from me. If I buy a card that is in less than a 10 or a 9, and I'll give you the example. Yesterday, we had a Drake May come in. Okay, Drake May downtown, PSA 8. We valued it. I made an offer. The person accepted it. I bought it. Now, it's really important that you trust your local card shop or whoever it is that you're buying cards from if it's raw, meaning not graded, because that card sells for $480 in a PSA 8. In a non-grade, it sells for $525 because it's a defined 8, but people are hoping for the potential of it being higher when they send it in to get graded.
Yeah.
So I didn't crack it out of the case, which is it happens a lot. So we never crack that out of the case to try to dupe a customer into thinking that it has
That'd be
a problem.
disingenuous. Yes.
And dishonest and unethical and all that stuff. So you'll see a card in a 7, you'll see a card in an 8, even though it's to our advantage to crack it, because when I bought it, the ethical thing was creating the value. Everything all starts with the value. How much is this card worth? The way it sits, what in its grade or its ungrade, and then we make the deal based off of that. I bought it as an 8. I'm selling it as an 8. The margin is what you don't need to clap. It's like saying,
Sounds like you want us to like stand up for
yeah, it's like saying I provide for my family. Yeah. Well, I did it. I'm a good
No,
person.
that's nice. That's really good.
But it's important that if you're like, if you see somebody's case, there's a card show I'm going to right after this, the Elk Grove card show. I'm going to go as a buyer, just kind of walking around, seeing some people, catching up. If you see a guy's case and all of his cards are graded and you see one card that's not, step back for a second and say, why is this card not graded?
Why would he do that?
Why, as Wendy would say, why would he do that? Think about that. Just kind of put the puzzle together. We got some other things to talk about. Although there's a question by Dean, spelled D-E-E-N. Dean. Dean asked in the chateau, is Prism still the best to go around? Yeah. I would say it's the best. But again, everything falls on the class.
For basketball.
For basketball, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, basketball.
But not for long.
No.
Once they lose the licensing. Right? Seriously.
Yes, and that's depressing.
Yeah.
Prism is a great brand. It's been around in basketball since 2011, 12.
Kind of saved basketball.
12,
cards.
13. Yeah, it saved. It was the double class.
Yeah.
Saved basketball. Kobe had inserts in there for autographs. First year Prism, 12, 13. Great double rookie class. Kyrie and Anthony Davis rookie years. Great names. Prism, I hope, survives through all this. But then again, Topps Chrome didn't. And we're going to see that coming back licensed. So maybe we won't miss Prism when Topps Chrome comes out. So, side note, Topps Chrome basketball right now, such an affordable purchase. You have Wemby in there. You have some of the stars
They're
for
nice
autographs.
cards. There's a ton of refractors, as I mentioned. Yeah.
We got on our shelf for $175 per hobby box and 2 autographs guaranteed in the box for Topps Chrome basketball.
I may have to come in and snag some of that.
175 is cheap.
Yeah.
Super cheap. This week, we're closing early tomorrow. We're going to be open 10 to 2. So normally we're open till 5. We're going to close at 2. We're doing a little retreat, me and the team. We're going to be going to an undisclosed location, which I'll share with you guys next week. We'll be closed on Monday, which is day after tomorrow. We'll be back to normal hours on Tuesday. I will be flying to Las Vegas on Wednesday. I'm going to be doing 2 signings. I cannot say who until after the signings, but it just so happens to coincide with NBA Summer League.
Oh, sure.
So
yeah.
everybody will be there. Imagine the NBA stars that could be there as a possibility.
Kyle Draper.
I said NBA stars. My man, what's up? I don't know you. Bro, you know me. I don't know you, Kyle.
Oh.
But he said Kyle. I guess you would know him.
Yeah.
That was a bad role play. So yeah, and then I'll be flying back. I will tell you that we have a special that we're running right now. Shaquille O'Neal signed jerseys are available.
I saw that on
170
what I call social media.
People on the World Wide Web.
Yes.
We have specials. Shaq jerseys, $179 plus tax, autographed, Orlando black pinstripe, yellow, Los Angeles Lakers.
What does he sign the black jersey? Said with a silver?
He's going to sign on the number. The number is actually blue, the 2.
Okay.
So that'll be with white or silver paint pen.
Okay.
So it pops.
Yeah.
We also have the Miami Vice version of his.
Oh.
Have you seen those ones?
Yes.
Really cool.
Yeah.
So they have like the hot pink look to them. So that number is going to be in a hot pink. So that'll be written in silver or white. And then we have the Los Angeles Lakers yellow. And that number is actually white, so it'll be signed with black pen, and or maybe even purple, depending on how I feel that morning. But those are available to. I mean, I think I just outed the signing. Oops.
179.
179. We can edit that out. 179. So we've sold about half of our allocation that we have for this. So we've got 40 of them. We sold about 25 of them so far. So if you want to pick up a Shaq jersey for $179 and DJ, our framer, is running a special. Good news. If you buy a jersey from us, you can get that jersey framed for just $250 plus tax more.
Oh, wow.
So we can have a framed jersey for you by the end of next week for just under $430 plus tax.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome price.
Yeah.
So really excited about that. Okay, so
You should get a Sac State one since he's going to be the athletic. What is he? General manager? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mhm.
Is he general manager or AD or something?
Yeah, I think he's the general man. I think he's the general manager.
I'm sure he's
of the
gonna be
basketball-
hard at work.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm Shaq. You want to come over?
That's pretty. Mike Bibby
I'll
said,
meet
yeah,
you.
It's going to do whatever. Yeah.
This is gonna be a fun little bunch of players together. Shaq's son,
Mhm.
Mikey Williams. Some of these names are pretty fun. Maybe we could get. See, is Bronny James' brother in college yet?
Bryce?
Bryce.
I don't think so.
Let's do
I'll have
it.
to double check on that.
Call Peja's son.
Yeah.
Say, get out of Illinois. Get over here. Come back home. All right. So I'm going to card show this afternoon, or as soon as we get done here. I'm going to be walking around looking to buy some cards. I'm excited because we've been releasing some products and people have been pretty excited about it. We've been doing some mystery boxes
Mm.
and I have enough jerseys to feed the needy. And we're going to be doing some boxes. And I've been working on some products that are like really mind-blowing products. So there's one box that we're creating. I'm calling it California Love. And it's going to have anywhere from 8 to 12 pieces in the box, all autographed. It could be jerseys. It could be helmets. It could be photos. It's just a nice mix. Everything in there is a California-based team. So it could be Lakers. It could be Sacramento Kings. It could be A's. And we're going to do this box, and I want to keep it under $250. So this is a product I'm currently working on. I promise to have it out in the next 2 months. It's a big task, but I'm excited about it, and it's a lot of fun. I think
Yeah.
if you get a mystery box with 8 to 12 items in it, guaranteed, all
How big will
autographed,
the box be?
it could be huge.
Yeah.
I want to make a total of 200 boxes, so that way people would have some variety to choose from.
Mhm.
But I mean, if you're looking at a box of Panini Mosaic for $600, or you get a box with 8 to 12 autographed items for $250, like, let's go.
That you should open one if somebody buys one, give them a discount or whatever, or a bonus. I don't know. Open it on your show, or at least on one of your channels.
Yes.
That would be really cool for.
Yeah,
people
we'll
to
do a
see.
box opening.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We got to close up our show. What do we got for announcements before next week? Anything?
For next week, yeah, I know we have this SAC Autograph Expo. We have more information on that.
Yeah,
we
we're-
need to share.
In a couple weeks, we're going to be announcing our lineup for the SAC Autograph Expo. We do know that it's going to be at the grounds in Roseville, basically the fairgrounds. And we've got the 26th through the 28th of September. We have some guest announcements that I've been adding. So we'll make those announcements. The website will be up for tickets and available in 2 weeks. So we're coming up. We're coming up on 90 days before our actual show. We're excited.
And August 9th is your next tradie night.
Trade night.
Tradies night. Oh, what a night.
That's the new song, Tradies Night. And so the card parties will be there. Will you come? It's at 6 o'clock. I know it's bedtime, but
I might have to. Can I come in my pajamas?
if you have
My
to.
robe and slippers.
And he's going to
There.
be, just to let you guys know before we go off air, when Whitey comes in, he comes in and he is not the guy that you hear on the radio that's boisterous or whatever. He's like kind of slinks around and he goes, do you have any vintage basketball back there? And then he'll just kind of like flip slowly through vintage basketball.
That's
and goes,
right.
I love this.
That's
I
right.
just love this. He doesn't want to talk to anybody.
Leave me
Slinks
alone.
into the corner.
Yeah.
Hey, this has been a great show.
Yes, it's been fun.
That's what I told you. It's been fun. And then you're like, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Have a great rest of your holiday weekend. Welcome back, Anthony.
Hey, welcome back, Anthony. We'll see you at the Elk Grove Card Show. Stop by and say hi to me if you see me walk around.
See you at True Sports Cards.
Talk about True Sports Card Store, yeah.